Welcome to the Cast March. This is Duelist. We're awaiting the start time. You can see they've got a Novacat, Morgan, second Novacat, Solitaire, and a Bushwhacker. Bushwhacker's Prime, two Novacats or two Novacat Ds with large beams, I believe. Two teams are tied up 1-1. We're on map. Opposing them will be Pulse Laser and LRM Vulture, I believe. A Thor. Uziel appears to have 3 medium beam lasers and a PPC, I believe. And there will be a second Uziel with 2 Uziels of the same type and an Avatar. The two teams are fighting over the Factory World. The Tsitsang. The red team attackers are the Tikonov Task Force. The blue team defenders are the Capellan Commonality. This is a coup. This is a political uprising. This is a surprise attack. Each team gets the same list of assets that they can bring. They can choose from, say, 50 to 100 assets. The list will have that many in there, so it's like selecting from your dropship. And then you have to select your mech for your particular fight. Teams are going with hot running assets, usually a lot of lasers and other weapons. This map is very cold, so you can get away with such loadouts, unlike on a regular other map. This is the infamous TSA Goldenrocks. This map had some very interesting battles, from long toms to short-range stuff to flying air battle. It's designed originally as a deathmatch map. We're doing team death. We're going to say the match began at 94750. The match will end at 91750, or when somebody blows up all the other stuff. I am a Duelist. Spectating and supervising, such as my role. I've played on one of the maps today, maybe two. No, one of the map. Been pretty even-handed today. We've had a lot of roster turnover. We were able to start enough that a lot of our European and some of the Asia area friends were able to come on and play. We're starting to see a few of our North American friends come on. This has the feel of one of those 4 or 5 map campaigns. So we've still got enough time in the night, I think, that we'll be able to play. We might go down to some 5v5 fights here and there, some 4v4. We'll see. There's a possibility this campaign could be picked up to Saturday. This is the final battle of turn 6. Ooh. Nice recovery by Thunderbird. Trees are a tank's worst enemy. Trees and rocks are a tank's worst enemy. They're deciding to get rid of the explodey stuff so that they don't have to worry about it. They did this after RDL Vitos, the creator of this map, I believe, was playing with Aerodani Light Horse in a large 14-player battle, 28-player battle. And they caught their enemy out in the open in that spot and blew up all those explodey things that no one knew about. So ever since, everybody's been like, we don't fight there. The spot where Bob's heading is where the battle happened last weekend. One team took a long tom artillery piece and tried to counter the direct fire long range of the other team. They were able to do a pretty good job of hunting down the long tom. Bob, the drop commander, and the scout. Wolverine's Rebirth mixed in with a bunch of mercenaries tonight. Got a couple members of some other units, a couple of newer players that are joining us for the first week or two of the event. Population is public games have been dead for a little while now. We'll get those started back up because we should be able to finish early enough tonight that we'll get in there. So if you're watching this live, even though I'm not live streaming, come in and join it. And then explain to me how you were able to say that you knew that we were getting ready to play pub games again. Because that would be most impressive psychic power. LRM's away. Those Nova Cats don't want to lose their arms. Bob in a pretty dangerous spot. Nova Cats will have to work together. Pull out to see the full long-range battle here. They've got pretty good range with those Nova Cats. Shooter took a lot of damage, that's why he's down there. They're trying to get the Morgu in range to soak up the damage so that they can get in there. Bob generally harassing, reporting their movement. Let's go ahead and switch the perspective here. Might be easier to fit the blue team in. Blue team's got pretty good cover here inside of these walls. Having Django push back a bit. Marius, the commander of this team. Bob continues to move back and forth up front. Morgu hold up in the center, trying to force the blue team to move in, get close. Sleipnir caught up in his spot, trying to trade fire. He's going to take damage from 3 different mechs. He's going to take a lot of damage there. Veteran player though, he'll know to get back to the rock. The question is, will he lose an arm? So if you don't die, that's your #1 concern in a Nova Cat. All of your weapons, 90% of the time, are always inside of the arm. Might even be 100%. Alright, Sleipnir gets an opportunity to push up now. Dead. Goes one of the Nova Cats. We've got Bob flanking from behind them, trying to buy the Morgu time. I think the blue team has got the advantage right now. They've got the Nova Cat dead and the other Nova Cat pretty beat up. It's a lot of their firepower. That Morgu's very dangerous. Probably has enough lambs to survive some barrage. See, they're dumb firing the missiles right now. There go the lamb. So right now, Stubby's moving back to try and take out Bob, prevent him from shooting out their backs and running around. Trading long-range fire right now as a shooter tries to move up to push on them a bit. Remember, shooter's pretty damaged. He's got a lot of firepower there, but he's going to have to be careful. He's lost one arm. So Bob comes back from behind it. Okay, now they get a kill. They get Stoop. The shooter's lost an arm, but he still has one. If he has enough firepower to get back here. Marius and Serpentis getting in there. Now Django moving up a bit. Bob in his solitaire A with lots of good firepower and range, continues to fire back. He's got Gnome King in the corner right now. Blue team's pulling back a little bit. They've probably taken more damage than I thought. Those 6 large beam, well, it might have been the Supernova, but even if it wasn't, the Nova Cats were able to get solid hits on them before they went down. Marius realizing that they need to get more position. Both teams are down to 4 mechs apiece. Been playing for a little while, but still plenty of time here. Bob, 900 meter range, continuing to enjoy utilizing his speed, popping in, doing an excellent job of making that 25-ton mech hit above its weight. Gonna get a couple. Bob got hit pretty good there, even though it was only half the round. The question is, what's he having his teammates do? His teammates are joining him. Shooter, still has both of his arms. His back was the blown component, as long as he protects the Morgu, nice and slow, but if you're going to have one last thing alive, you want it to be the Morgu. The Bushwhacker Prime, an underrated asset in my opinion. AC-10 cannon, LRM. Pretty good backup weapons on that thing. Marius repositioning here, trying to utilize his 360-degree torso and good radar. Realizes that the enemy is no longer in the location with which he wishes to assault them from. They were working on a flanking position up through these rocks. Now that they know that they've moved, he's going to have to decide what to do with his force. telling Django and Gnome and Serpentis to go in a different way. Marius is going to join them now. Just get a feel for how large and lonely this map can be. It's very, very decent sized. Maybe not a full 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer, but if it's a 6 or a 4 kilometer, it's small. Feels large. You can see Bob pulling around back. Just look at how much range he has now. Bob is in a bit of trouble here because those 3 other mechs are going to be able to hit him. He's pulling back. He's got to face all of them. He may die. Lost an arm. Lucky for him, his most powerful weapon's not on the arm. He's pulling back. Bob does not have a good radar package, does not have stealth. Oh, he lost both arms. Bob is now going to be less of a factor. He's done. It's a good thing that he did a lot of damage early on, because now he's basically going to be either target practice or a fast scout. Lucky for him, his back is still intact. He was going after the mech that was over here, but because he didn't have his radar, he had the other 3 enemy team right here firing on him with their full force. So now that Bob is not going to be able to pick at them as easily, he still, I think, has his 900 meter range laser, which means he'll still be able to harass them a bit, but he will have to be very careful. He'll probably just head back to his group now, and they'll find a fortifiable position, utilize whatever range they do have. The Nova Cat has very good range, 600 to 900 meters, I believe. And I'm going to get you an update on the time now, ladies and gentlemen. Rough. A lot of action packed into the time. We're 12 minutes into the record. So if we say that we've still got over half the match to go, so time won't be a factor as the 2 teams are now engaging at full tilt. The LRMs from Morrigu. Django dodges some of the LRMs with his jump jet. Shoot. Trying to protect himself. Bushwhacker doing a good job of getting those LRMs and staying out of harm's way. Django now pulling back to the back of the group. Gnome trying to set up some crossfire. Okay, they've killed Shooter, and he's going to go crit, which is really going to hurt the Morrigu here. Big explosion in 3 seconds. You do get the arm on Marius. The Nova Cat lasted long enough to do some severe damage, but is it enough now? Bushwhacker will be able to support at range. The Morrigu's by itself. Django has enough firepower. Bob trying to do what he can, keep them busy while the Morrigu can either close in or get back to the Bushwhacker. Bob will be dead here very quickly. He's going to try and do whatever damage he can to Gnome and try to stay behind this hill. He's running away. Gnome trying to line up the kill shot. So there you go. 2 assets left. How beat up are the Uziels? How beat up is the Thor? You don't see any smoke. Django, one of the best players in the entire game, has his work cut out for him. He's got plenty of support here. 4 assets still. Only Marius's Uziel, I think, is beat up right now. Excuse me, Gnome's Uziel. They certainly have the tonnage here. 104, 200, 250 tons against 155. I don't want to say they have the match, but I do want to say they have the advantage now. That Morrigu has to be at close to long range. It has to be protected by the Bushwhacker. In fact, I think our story lies with the red team now. Killpact supporting at the tunnel so he can get in and out easily. We'll find the Morrigu in a moment. Thunderbird and the Morrigu. Thunderbird's one of our new players joining us. A relative unknown, this skill set, so we'll see what he's able to do. He's pretty heavily damaged, that's what the smoke indicates. He's got a lot of armor on that thing and a lot of firepower. Those ATMs, they won't want to be rushed. The Bushwhacker Doesn't have a lot extra ammo for the LRMs, or if it does, it's been using it heavily. So they're going to get in and out. Thunderbird did a good job here of drawing their, getting in and out of cover. Right now, their focus needs to be kills. If they can, they'd probably be best to try and take out Django or the Avatar. Killpact taking the firepower now. Gnome being told to push up with the UZ. The Avatar and Thor support from long range. If they still had a healthy Bob here, they might have enough firepower to protect against flank. Bushwhacker taking a beating. It has decent up-close weapons fire. Oh, wow. An excellent job by Thunderbird getting in there. If Killpack can get back, which is going to be a big if, they might have enough to take Gnome down here, which might even up the odds for more. Alright, here we go. They did a good job of Killpack and Thunderbird did a very good job of working together here to get to this point. And they've got the Uzil down. The odds are still against him, but he's patient. He doesn't have the range. So he's going to have to decide to make them come to him in, I'd go in one of those mech bays, or I would go into the tunnel at this point. Now technically the blue team can simply wait for time to run out. They have more carrying assets. Thunderbird pretty beat up. Just trying to dish out firepower and try not to take too much damage. Gonna take on Django. Lands the hit. Django's got 150 meters of range on. Thunderbird deciding to close in. Beat up 80 tons against some relatively fresh 140. If he can get one of the heavies down, he might have a shot. Serpentis and Django, very excellent opponent. I'm very impressed by Thunderbird here. He's done a good job of making this Marugu last a long time. I don't know how many more hits it can take, but he's landing his, I believe, LBX shots. He's doing a very good job of protecting against his opponent, and I would not be surprised to see Marius flanking with his Vulture around here somewhere. Oh, no, Serpentis and Django are the only two left. Django taking ATM shot. Thunderbird might have a chance here. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. He's dealing it out, though. Those ATMs are eating up quickly. That's why Django's having to pull back for a moment to get to crossfire position. Serpentis just lost his side torso. So now Serpentis and Django are going to pull back. Thunderbird doesn't have any appreciable radar on that thing. So it's going to be about visual scouting for him. He's going to have to try to predict where his opponents are going to move. And again, Serpentis and Django do have the option simply to kite from range. They have range advantage on Thunderbird. Thunderbird trying to decide where might they come. Trying to find a good protective positioning, going after their last location. Getting out of the open so that they can't simply as easily kite him or jump snipe. He needs to stay within 700 meters of his opponent. He's taking a look around where his adversaries are moving. I would not be surprised to see Django and Serpentis, as they're doing right now, set up in two different positions. Serpentis reporting on the location of the Marugu. Django coming around a very, very long flank. But this very well could work because Django can draw the fire, or one of them can draw the fire while the other moves up to attack, or they can simply attack from two different directions. The problem with the tank is that if it's taking enough damage, the turret cannot turn as fast as it used to. I have no idea what the armor situation is. I know that it's got to be at least 50% damage, if not more. Now he's going to catch up to Serpentis here before Django can get up to support him. If he can get ATMs and if he can get a full barrage of weapons on Serpentis at this moment, it might be enough to take Serpentis down. He decides to pull back. That is going to possibly be it. Yep, So an excellent job by Thunderbird. I commend that pilot for doing a good job. Ultimately, the experience of Django and Serpentis and the coordination of them being in the same unit pull off. So they go on a 2-1 advantage, and we might be able to close this out on the next map. We'll see if we play it tonight. Check in the playlist for the next one, and thank you for watching the Chaos March Network.